Thank you for sharing your insights on sustainable initiatives, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great delight that I introduce our today's chief guest, Dr. P. Krishnaiah, I.A.S. retired APPCB chairperson. Dr. P. Krishnaiah, a retired Indian Administrative Service officer, has had a distinguished career in public service, particularly in pollution control and environmental management. Throughout his career, Dr. Krishnaiah has held various important positions, including Executive Chairman of the AP Industrial Infrastructure Corporation and Chief Executive of the National Fisheries Development Board. He has substantial experience in pollution control, having conducted public hearings for industrial estates, established effluent treatment plants, and promoted coastal zone management. His initiatives in natural resource management include implementing watershed projects, conserving aquatic resources, and developing medicinal plant gardens. Dr. Krishnaiah is also recognized for his contributions to professional bodies such as the AP Wildlife Development Board and the State Farmers Welfare Commission. Sir, we are truly honored to have you amidst us. Request you to address the gathering.
Good morning to all of you. The dignitaries on the dais, Professor Gautam Rao, the Vice Chancellor of this prestigious GITAM University, Vizag, Professor Sadhan Kumar Ghosh, the President of this International Solid Waste Management Association, and also the chairman of today's conference, Professor Raja from GITAM University, Sri Mohanty, who spoke to us just now from ENCRD online, Madam Shireen Kamal Amin, who came all the way from Egypt. Thank you, Madam. Sri B.S.R.K. Prasad, Director and Executive Vice President of NATCO Pharma. Dr. Krishnakant Pulichalla, a young scientist from the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. And Sri Gnanasundaram, representing the Coromandel Fertilizers located in Andhra Pradesh. Invitees from across the globe for this 14th International Conference on Sustainable Waste Management, Circular Economy and IPLA Global Forum 2024. The faculty and the students from this GITAM University, dignitaries who are participating, who are contributing their knowledge in the next couple of days, and the media, both print and electronic media, participating in this conference. Good morning once again to all of you. And I also welcome, especially those who are outside Vizag, to this beautiful city of Visakhapatnam, which has the reputation of being called as the jewel of the East Coast. And we're all proud of this beautiful city. Of course, quite often we also come across the challenges of pollution by virtue of its location on the coast as well as the hillocks surrounding the city, leading to what they call as bowl effect. The city has become one of the listed cities having higher levels of pollution, though not as high as Delhi, but still we are on the radar, being monitored by Government of India. Well, I think before me, more than half a dozen experts have spoken on various issues. Most of them are scientists with a lot of knowledge accumulated over decades of their experience. And some of them are from the industry, seeing both sides of the problem, because without industry we don't have growth, we don't have economy, we don't have jobs, we don't have incomes. So obviously we need industries, we need economy to grow, we need industries to develop. And as all of us are aware, GDP has become one of the parameters to assess the development of any nation. But then, along with the development, or perhaps all these days, any development is linked to utilization of resources. Without utilizing resources, at least the assumption is that we can't grow. As rightly Dhanasundram has mentioned, this century in particular has been exploiting or over-exploiting the natural resources, be it mineral wealth or biological wealth, ultimately driving us to a situation where we are all here gathering to introspect as to what has gone wrong and how to overcome this difficulty, this crisis of pollution. How do we sustain our growth and development and pass on to the future generations? As I rightly said, from the quote of Mahatma Gandhi, this earth provides everything for everybody, everybody's needs, but not for the greeds. So that is the real problem that we are facing today. Of course, some examples were given by my predecessors who spoke on this occasion, that consumption has become one of the banes of our society, overconsumption, not necessarily for India, particularly the West. They started over-exploiting the resources, both within their society as well as from all over the world. And today, very recently, COP29 has been held in Azerbaijan. Most of you might be knowing that. Having exhausted all the resources, having been responsible for the cause of disproportionate release of greenhouse gases into the environment, now they are saying, look, India is exhausting now, India is producing more greenhouse gases now. And they are not willing even to support the developing world today to compensate for the sins or for the damages they have caused. We have a principle, what they call polluter pays principle. That should also apply to the Western society, Western countries, because they are already spoiled. They have to pay for it. But then somehow there is a lot of reluctance, unfortunately. The countries like India and other developing countries are not able to exert pressure beyond a point to be able to extract or get compensation for the damages they cause out to the world. Anyhow, therefore, to that extent, they are releasing bits and pieces, small compensation they are giving to the developing world, which we have to very carefully utilize to be a part of a sustainable development world. To begin with, I think, as Professor Ghosh has said, they started this 3-day conference with a pre-school children event. It fits into the concept of things, because they are the future generation. As the definition of sustainable development, which has been defined by UNDP, we have to preserve something for the future generations. But then it looks like, though the definition has come around in 70s or 80s, perhaps in 80s, now our friend from Delhi, now there's no future. Right now the present generation is suffering now. The suffering is not for future generations. We are seeing the outcome of our own actions right in our generation, so leave alone future generations. For our own survival, we need to behave better. Now, the present seminar today is on sustainable waste management. And of course, the new concept of circular economy is being discussed. Even Government of India is seriously debating on the importance of circular economy. I think sometime in the next couple of months, Honorable Prime Minister is about to take a discussion with the Chief Secretaries, and AP Chief Secretary has been requested to present the views and then ideas on circular economy. They are working on that. Likewise, in the days to come, every country has to seriously consider, talk, promote circular economy. There is no choice. If you have to survive in the present generation as well, leave alone future generations. Consumption has become one of our, as I said earlier, overconsumption. My friend Dr. Keeps saying beautiful videos on health and health management. Dr. C.L. Venkatrao, hope he is there. He has left just now. We are talking of waste management. In a lighter vein, doctors keep saying waste management, not waste management. That is also important for us as a human being. We get into all problems of health because of excessive consumption, overweight, and therefore start running and then walking and doing all kinds of yoga exercises for waste management. Personally, it is okay, good. We have to manage our waste properly so that you are in that typical hourglass structure. At the same time, we should also bother about waste management. Waste is generated from home. As a very good example has been given on the use of pencils and pens. Yes, those are the days where we used to have refill pens, lifelong. Those are the days where we used to buy white papers, stitch them into a notebook, and use it for the whole, several days, whole of academic year. Those were the days. The circular economy was practiced by borrowing textbooks and notebooks from the seniors and then use it in the subsequent classes. The circular economy was practiced those days. But these days, the present generation, thanks to the circulation of more money in the pockets of at least the upper middle class and middle class and those who can afford, the utilization of the natural resources has gone up. And today we are facing the music because of that. Well, these are all the things which all of us know. Having realized the problem, what is that we can do? This is an area where we have to seriously think. That's why all of us are assembling here. Yes, you are all scientists, professors, academicians. Some of them may also be administrators. We have challenges, but how do you overcome these challenges? One, according to me, is the advantage of technology. New technologies are coming thanks to serious research that you scientists carry out day in and day out. I know you burn midnight oil sitting in the laboratories, sometimes right up to 4 o'clock in the morning, and come up with solutions. But then these solutions must be not theoretical, but they must be practical. And they should also be cost effective. Both are important. We have technologies. Of course, they are very costly. The costly technologies cannot be adopted by an Indian industry. And the technology is not even transfer of technology is very costly. Therefore, in Indian scenario, we have a lot of research laboratories. We have ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. We have CSIR, Council for Industry and Scientific Research. There are many national laboratories. These days, even private sector, there are a lot of research organizations coming up. So therefore, The research institutions, both within the government and outside the government, must focus on new, viable, and sustainable technologies. That's where the challenge lies, to begin with. Once there are technologies, then the challenge is, next step is adoption. For adoption, you need resources. You also need technical feasibility. Some technologies may be very good in Japan and Korea, but then at what cost? Can our industry, which is just growing now, borrow that kind of technology and be able to manage its viability? These are the challenges. Another aspect that I notice in our research organizations, they are no doubt bringing about technologies and good products, alternate products, but then they are ending with the lab scale. They are not coming out into prototypes which can be replicated and commercialized. This is where the policy becomes very, very significant. My friend in DST is there. It's not enough if you develop a technology and product, but you should also incentivize, at least to begin with, subsidize, promote, encourage, handhold those technologies until there are half a dozen projects that are grounded and demonstrate that they are viable technologies. That is very, very critical. I will give an example of a challenge that we are facing. As the chairman of Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board, as someone has said, we are not mere regulators. Yes, my job is to regulate, control, visit, inspect, and detect mistakes, and then close the industry. That is not the solution. Industry should survive. We should be facilitators for adoption of new technologies. Yes, regulation is important, no doubt. At the same time, we should also understand their problems and try to work with them, work along with them to find a solution to the problem. Pollution is yes, but we are here to find solution also. I was requesting the scientists, show me a way out as to how the granite waste, the slurry that comes off granite polishing units, which becomes a huge cloud of dust. I am sure some of you, those who come from Prakasham district, when you pass through from Ongole to Podili or Markapur, for about 20 kilometers you have to pass through a cloud of dust because of the granite polishing units who dump the slurry everywhere. It becomes a fine powder and gets into the cloud form. So therefore, we need technology to make use of this slurry into some product. Could be bricks, could be road pavers, could be tiles. When we were looking at the options, I came across an institute called AMPRI in Bhopal, Institute for Advanced Material Sciences, wherein they are already having a technology to convert this waste into kind of panels and boards, etc., etc. But then it is there remaining within their four corners of the four walls. It has not come out as a usable technology. Then I spoke to them, then we are sending some entrepreneurs to see their technology. They don't have resources to convert their technology into a kind of a replicable model. That is the challenge. And who will invest that kind of money without knowing, understanding the viability of that industry? That's where the policy makers, both at Government of India and the state level, need to work along with the industry, with the entrepreneurs, with the research organizations, to bring those technology and see that they are viable, they are made viable rather. So like this, the research institutions in the country must focus on applied technology, not theoretical aspects alone. Identify those challenges. In this seminar, we are focusing on solid waste management. Last couple of months, I joined about 2 months back in this organization. We have been seriously working on some of these issues. Coming to solid waste management, which is the topic of the day or this conference, urban solid waste is a big problem, as all of us know. There are different methods Indore is very, very popular for the best, cleanest city, the cleanest city in India for the last 3-4 years. They have been ranked as the cleanest city in the country. They are able to segregate, dispose of all the recyclables into valuable products. Nothing is wasted there. Paper, plastic, metal, and everything is, even soil and then organic substances are converted into biofertilizers, and then they are being used. It's a model city. In fact, I have to go and see that, how they are doing. But then the problem is, how do we motivate our own householders to segregate the waste into compostable waste, recyclable waste, etc.? The municipal administration department, for last 4 or 5 years, after the Swachh Bharat concept came into existence, we have what we call Swachh Andhra Corporation, which is promoting health, hygiene and sanitation in the urban areas as well as rural areas. They are given free of cost bins to each household with a request to segregate the domestic waste. But how many of our family members are doing that? Our municipal waste mostly consists of dust, the street sweepings. And there are some technologies to convert the waste into energy. We have started at least 2 waste-to-energy plants in the state. We have one in Guntur, another one in Visakhapatnam. As a part of field visit, maybe you may like to see the waste-to-energy plant that is there in, I think, some very close by, maybe about 15-20 kilometers from here, not far from here. But then the waste that is going there is supposed to be segregated and then sent there. But then we don't have a mechanism to segregate that waste. Entire thing is going there. They are incinerating. They are producing about 15 megawatts of power from out of the municipal waste. So there are new technologies coming up now. So incineration is one of the means to use this waste, convert into energy. Similarly, one of the speakers said, I think from the industry, the plastic is being used in cement industry, yes, for incineration purpose. Instead of coal, they are using plastic as a fuel. So to that extent, the coal is minimized. To that extent, carbon emissions are reduced. So plastic, instead of burning as a waste, it's being used as a fuel. It's an example of circular economy. So therefore, friends, the point that I would like to emphasize here is, we have problems, not only on solid waste, even our liquid waste coming from our urban locations as well as industries. Take our own Visakhapatnam city. Most of you who walk on Ramakrishna beach might be seeing the sewage water getting into a beautiful beach. Nobody would like to walk on such dirty water. Is there a mechanism? I requested the municipal commissioner to find a way out. First to clean it and release only that cleaned water into the bay by providing some pipeline so that you don't have to walk on the dirty water. At least it goes underneath. Of course, after cleaning, after establishing the STP, sewage treatment plant, the clean water only should enter the sea. Having said this, let me also mention a problem that the AP state is facing, where periodically we get complaints from the fishing community. In reality, we have to understand their problem also. We have a vast coastline of 974 kilometers in Andhra Pradesh. It's a big resource for us. And therefore, a lot of economic activity is feasible. So most of the civilizations, as we are aware, have developed on the coastlines. The coast has to be productively utilized. For what? For setting up industries, for shipping activity, imports, exports, ports, fishing harbors, naval bases, launching stations, rocket launching stations, starting from Srikakulam to Sulurpet, along the coast, we have a lot of human activity. In addition to pharma activity that exists mostly in Visakhapatnam, Srikakulam, these areas. Ultimately, this human interference rather, has been impacting the fish growth, fish availability for the fishing community, which is depending on that source historically for several generations. So therefore, they have a complaint that because of you fellows, we are not getting fishes. It is a fact, not necessarily pharma. You have ports, you have airports, seaports, you have harbors, you have our own steel factories. A lot of industrial activity is there. Imports and exports, the coastal waters are disturbed. Added to the excessive fishing because of the huge population of fishermen growth, is natural growth. More boats, more fishing activity. So per catch or per fishing time, they are not getting adequate catches. And the small people who use the small boats, not mechanized boats, they are motorized boats, they have a complaint, genuine grievance. How does the scientific community help them? Is there a mechanism to enhance fish productivity in these coastal waters? What are the technologies that we can think of so that they can also survive? Industry has to be there, fishermen also should be there. Their livelihood should be protected. Just as we are taking care of our livelihoods, we should also take care of the livelihoods of the fishermen. So minimize the pollutions. Zero level pollution, if every industry, if every coastal activity, if there is a zero level pollution to the sea, obviously there will be better fish growth. We have to endeavor, we have to work together in that direction to see that our coastal waters are ensured, they are free from pollution. Today only I saw a news item, just before coming here, maybe thinking that I am coming here, somebody has sent me. Some ex-industry releasing their discharges into a nearby Nala or canal, which ultimately goes to the sea. Those aberrations we have to identify. We can't generalize. Just because XYZ is doing, not all industry people are bad. We have to identify those black spots and take rectification, remedial measures to see that they behave. That's where regulation comes. That's where we come into picture. We have a responsibility to see that they don't spoil the nature. They don't spoil the livelihoods of the people and health of the people. So my request to the scientists here is, we have a lot of challenges. And at the same time, we have a lot of knowledge. So let there be synergy between these two communities. You communicate. You tell us what we should do. We means government. We are a part of the government. At the same time, the society also should be very, very responsible. Today, plastic menace, as all of us are seeing, is a big threat to us. Wherever you go, every village, there will be a heap of plastic which welcomes you, giving an ugly picture to our ecosystems, our village surroundings. Are there any options for us? Yes. Luckily today, I am told the collector of Vizag district and the municipal commission, they have decided to make Vizag as plastic-free city from 1st of January onwards. I appreciate them, congratulate them. But then, the residents of Vizag have to cooperate with them. Without their cooperation, not possible. The single-use plastic is banned, no doubt. All of us, or most of you must be knowing, by law, the single-use plastic is banned. But how do we enforce it? There are vendors who sell bananas on the street. We also go with empty hands to the market and bring all our vegetables and commodities in plastic bags. Earlier days, we used to carry either cloth bag or resin bag or some wire bag to the market, used to bring our vegetables. But these days, none of us are going with any bag. We are going empty-handed and carrying a lot of plastic bags along with the goods. It has become a menace. Now, luckily, technologies are emerging wherein biological materials are being used to bring covers and then sheets, etc., etc. So such materials are little costly now, but then those who can afford should adopt, should use such covers. They are biologically degradable. Over a period of 100 years, they become biomass. It becomes merged with the soil and becomes a part of the manure or soil, whatever. So whoever can afford to use such covers, we should use it. Why not we carry cloth bags? Why not we carry jute bags? There are all the alternatives available for us. But then somehow there is reluctance in adopting these available technologies. So ultimately it is the citizens who have to be more responsible if you have to reduce or minimize the plastic waste. Parallelly, there are also technologies for recycling of plastic. Plastic washing is happening. We need to encourage more and more recycling units for plastic. Along with the plastic, there are many recyclables. Your batteries, your electronic waste, rubbers, and various other materials that are coming into the system. We need to reuse them, recycle them, then only whatever we are talking about, sustainable management of solid waste is possible. So these are all some of the issues which are bothering us. That's why you are all here. I'm happy that the organizers have taken initiative to conduct this international conference here. Some of those who are here, I'm sure they'll be contributing their experiences, their research papers. At the end of the day, my request to the organizers is, give us some solid plan of action, some implementable, feasible recommendations so that we can work along with you in the days to come to take those, suggestions for implementation in the state of Andhra Pradesh. And perhaps now that a representative from Government of India is also here, and these recommendations can all be circulated and adopted in other parts of the country also. Together, we should become conscious of the need and emergency and urgency to reduce waste and convert whatever waste is produced so that it doesn't, there's nothing like a waste, everything is reusable. It can become manure, it can become energy, it can be recycled into a secondary product, it can be converted, reused as a metal. If not anything else, at least some of the non-hazardous waste can be converted into bricks and other construction material. Another issue which bothers us in terms of urban pollution is the construction waste. I forgot to mention about that. There's also a huge opportunity. The technologists and scientists may come up with suitable recommendations for feasible solutions. And the builders will be happy if we give a good technology for them because that's being wasted. They can reuse it for their own construction purpose. I'm happy that this conference has been organized in Visakhapatnam. I'm sure in the days to come, you will deliberate on the most important challenges and help us in finding solutions for the challenges that the world in general faces. And since the conference is being organized in Visakhapatnam, we want local solutions. Global solutions, okay, fine, but we'll be benefited if we come up with some local solutions, in particular to benefit Andhra Pradesh, and more particularly to benefit Visakhapatnam, so that the citizens of Visakhapatnam can remember this event as a very, very useful event in the days to come. I thank the organizers for having invited me to this opportunity, this forum, and listening to me patiently for all these minutes. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you for that wonderful thought-provoking address, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, to reiterate the theme of the conference, this conference is a plastic-free conference, having at low level of carbon footprints and water footprints, a conference with effective waste management and circulating of waste by recycling. We request all to comply with. Thank you very much. Esteemed guests and dear delegates, we have arrived at the paramount moment of the event, the release of special issue of the Journal of Solid Waste Technology and Management. This special issue is published to commemorate 4.5 decades of dedicated research for the society by Professor Sadan Kumar Ghosh. Request the dignitaries on the dais to release the issue. I also request the editors of the journal to join the dignitaries on the dais. Thank you. I request our guests to also release the proceedings of the 14th ICON SWMC 2024. And for this, I request the editors to join the guests on the desk. As someone rightly said, to accomplish great things, we must not only act but also dream, not only plan but also believe. We have amidst us luminaries whom we are privileged to honor with Lifetime Achievement Awards. First in the list, we have Professor C. Vishwanathan, whom I request to join us on the desk. Sir, we are truly honored to have you with us today, and we are happy to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to you for your exemplary contribution to the society and service to the world. Thank you so much. Please join us on the desk, sir. I request the dignitaries to present the award to Professor C. Vishwanathan. Truly honored to have you with us, sir. Thank you, sir. I invite Dr. Nateri Bhanumati Das to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award for her contribution to the industry and society in general. Thank you for joining us today, ma'am.